Well, hi, I'm Carl, and welcome to Adventures in Camping. Today, I'm going to show you how far I am with getting things set up. As you will notice, the trench has been filled in. The wire has been laid. There's more wire to lay, however, this is a good start. Remember, I said that I needed to get that done so I could get the situation taken care of with the flooding in the campsite. So what I'm doing here is I'm leaving a bit of a mound down where the trench was, because this is going to settle. If I make it level, it's going to sink and I'll have a little indent where the trench was. Remember the video I took of the campsite where it was flooded? The entrance. Yeah, that was a disaster. Then up by the fire pit. That wasn't much better. Well, let me show you what we've done. Now comes the big surprise. Isn't this awesome? Nice ramp going up into the campsite. If I needed to bring a vehicle in here, I could. Well, I could before. This would be a lot better. However, this is going to shed that water nicely. Also, that's why I dug the trench when I did, because this got all covered over and all compressed by the tractor. So I shouldn't have any issue with this. Wire is coming out over there, and that's going to go up to the rest of the campsite. But wait, there's more! And that means a lot more work for me. So now I have a nice ramp that goes on up. Right up here, I'd mentioned I'm going to put my table, and that post there is going to have power on it so I can run lights for this fall and winter. This up here needs a lot more work. A lot more raking and a lot more settling. So a lot of this right in this area here was pressed down by the tractor. But this up here was not. But you see I got a pile of dirt there, another pile of dirt over here, pile of dirt up there, and then a pile of dirt back here. So all that has to be raked out and flattened out. We'll see how that comes over the next week or so. I may still be working on this in the next video. I had a low spot right in here where it was wet, a little swampy, and then I had that little low spot there. Now the intent is to run power around here. You can't see it. Let me show you. I guess it's about time that I started taking this thing down. But yeah, see that? That's going to be power over there, and I have another post over there where I'm going to run power to. Spent a lot of years teaching kids, and I know the importance of having a good area for people, not only kids, adults, to be able to learn. So that is the intent here, is to make a good place where I'm comfortable teaching and I have access to what I need to teach you. Since I'm talking about it, I guess now is as good a time to start to take some of this down. It is an eyesore, and I'm sure you're probably tired of looking at it. I'm tired of looking at it. I'm not going to say my knife is this sharp. I'm just going to say that this is that rotten. That was almost a disaster. My wife would be very mad at me if I cut off my finger. Now, what is all this stuff up here that I'm messing with? Well, remember I told you I wanted you to be able to see what I was doing. Well, these are the lights that I went through a lot of trouble to hang 3 years ago. Now, I will keep the lights, but I won't be trying to hang anything for a while other than this. You look at my early videos, make sure I'm actually cutting the right thing here. You look at my early videos, you could watch what was going on. You would notice that it would be daylight when I started, and then it would be dark when I neared the finish of my videos. That's why I had lights hung up. This was supposed to be my improvement. Didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. I can still work with this. Now what I did with these lights, and that's why that ladder is there, I took screw eyes and pulleys and attached them to the trees. And then at the bottom of the tree, I put a tie-off so that I could adjust. That tie-off is referred to as a cleat. So the trees have cleats screwed to them as well as pulleys. So my daughter and her fiance came out to help me work on this. And that was when I couldn't climb a ladder and I could barely walk. They were kind enough to give me a hand. They were asking if they could use the campsite and come out here and go camping. That is another reason for me getting this all kind of squared away. So if they wanted to do that, they could. Hey, you know, family. And I love her. She's a wonderful girl, and her fiance has been instrumental into reconnecting us. So whatever I can do, I'm more than happy to. Let me show you something else. I will kind of see if I can give you a closer view of what I did without hurting myself. So here are two of the cleats. Another one pulled out because I didn't use long enough screws. I ordered some more cleats because I don't know where it went. I'm going to have to screw another cleat in there. Then above me is where I have 3 of these lines tied into. Well, I'm not sure if you can see it because this camera is not good enough to get that long of a view, but right in here is where the 3 pulleys are that are anchored to that tree. This is essentially what is up in the trees. I have the 3/16 Dacron polyester rope going through a 3/16 pulley attached to an Adelink. The Adelink goes through the screw eye. This screw eye is too large. I'm just showing it as an example. I ran out of the other style. If you choose, you could use a carabiner like you see to the right or more. Woohoo! Look at that. Isn't that sexy? Well, you might not think it's sexy, but I sure think it's sexy. So here's one of the cleats. Show you what I do with it. Alrighty. Now, if you're curious about what cord I'm using a Dacron line. It was because of my ham radio interest that I discovered this Dacron cord. This stuff is UV and weather resistant and is strong. Let's give it one more twist. There we go. That should not go anywhere. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you know when I put out a new video, and hitting the like helps me get these videos out to more people. Please help me to get these videos out to more people. And also, you are welcome to share my videos. Y'all come back now. You hear?